okay. It's okay. Let it happen.
To cut you off and quit giving you what you want is the only way I can think of to get through to you guys. Due to all of the noise on the internet, the truly profound things I could impart to you, and over the years I have quite literally handed people for free online, out of the kindness of my fucking heart. People for the most part have taken me for a ride, but the big point is, because of all of this noise, most people haven't taken the time to appreciate just how fucking neat this shit is, which means they don't understand how far-reaching it is. The fact that it touches on all things. It's important. But people aren't going to realize that with all this noise, because they're being handed things daily. They have nothing but an endless slush pile to choose from. So they're not going to recognize something that goes somewhere, means something, and is by all rights tools upon tools that you could use to better things, to benefit us as a whole. Because instead, people are shopping around horseshit that goes nowhere, means nothing, and is fuck all, which are propaganda campaigns, rabbit holes, paradigms, spoon-fed outlines that pseudo-intellectuals latch onto and repeat. And it's crazy. It is fucking crazy. Usually I'll complain that the flat earth and the globe theory kids, they both talk about planets. That's not the only thing that they repeat that's similar, that's a common denominator. Both of those camps full of fucking brain-dead people, typically speaking, they believe in quantum physics. They believe in special relativity. They believe in fallacies that our masters spoon-fed them. And they were too dumb, too fucking dumb, to challenge, to take with a grain of salt, to look into instead of buying into, which means they fucked us up. This goes back to what I could teach you versus what people think they know, and what you would do with the information and what people have done with the information. They've taken what I can teach you and they have drug it through these bullshit paradigms and fucked it up. There's a number of subjects from years back that one too many Muppets, when I had all public accounts for the sake of transparency, I was trying to do the right thing. But because of that, people took me for a ride and they fucked up some of the information. Some of that stuff I don't talk about anymore. Not online. For that very reason. To distance myself from that stuff. Granted, I'm still sitting on answers related to it, but I purposely do not talk about some of those things. As you guys would probably already know, because I've complained about this before, and you could connect the dots, but most people can't. What the fuck do I know? Here's a thought that's far from crazy. It doesn't come up, but assume what you will. Let's see if I can knock it out. So everything in terms of this life is based on a threshold between light and shadow. And I'd say, would you agree? But most people have been trained to think otherwise. You got spray paint. I posted a video recently where the yin and the yang, if you picture just this curve here, they overlap. If this were to hit that, granted the size is totally off, but eclipsing one, joining with one another, and by extension, creating the Vesica Pisces, or the Vesica Pisces, the Yanni, if you will. It's something that should come up and doesn't come up, typically speaking. What I want you to kick around is, and I want to throw these back up here too, I want you to think about my feet, your feet. I want you to think about the toes. I want you to think about the calves. I want you to think about the knees. I want you to think about the rest of, the human body. I want you to think about this 5-petal form, and I want you to think about the different contours. I want you to think about the different shapes. You have a lot of kids waxing poetic about cymatics. If I took just this hat, the top of it, if I flatten it out, is for the most part very similar until you get to the back. You got a brim that sticks out, that shakes it up. Yeah? But otherwise, it's pretty similar. So if you thought about a frequency creating that hat, you could possibly do this and it wouldn't be all that complex, except for that back, strap and the brim. But when it comes to us, these are frequencies upon frequencies, mind you, that are holding us together, that created us in the first place. Best of all, you and I aren't just fixed in place. We are not inanimate objects. We do travel. We move through this space, which means these bands of frequency move with us. This is part of what doesn't come up, having to do with the ether and what people consider auras, or how our skeletal antenna works in tandem with the fucking ether. The ether pours through our skeletal antenna. This has to do with the 7 rays. This is a very big deal. But people don't appreciate these things. You have a lot of kids whining about cymatics, but you don't hear anybody pointing out what I'm poorly alluding to. And it's one of the many things I shouldn't leave online. This also speaks to an order to all things, because it's a symbiotic system. There is something, there are strings or wires, if you will, threads, however you want to think of it, behind all of this. And it's not absolutely chaotic. There is an order to this. Without all of this junk that I'm alluding to, we would not exist. This could not exist. And what people are being sold is a disconnected bullshit model that means nothing, goes nowhere, and is fuck all, and flies in the face of all that is sacred, all that is divine, and what we truly experience if you use the gray matter between your ears. But most people you and I are going to bump into are doing quite the opposite. I can stop leaving videos online, and for the most part, nobody's going to give a flying fuck. Because they have an endless slush pile of stupid fucking dog shit to choose from. To smear on the wall and tell you, isn't this cool? Look at how neat this is. It's dog shit. Amazing. Don't you feel so brilliant? Are you full of wisdom? Because you've seen the dog shit on the wall? Most of these Muppets assume that they are. I'll do you one better. I just thought for you, I gave you some ideas to kick around. You just got that social engineering feedback loop of, here's a pat on the ass. You got your content for today. You got the quota. So you don't fucking care. You got something from me. You did nothing for me, but you got something from me. You got what you wanted. And that's what most people care about. That's all they fucking care about. Because they don't care about anything else or anyone else. This is why things are bad and why they're getting worse. How many accounts out there have thousands and thousands and thousands upon followers and 100 likes, a couple hundred likes? People are here to take. They're not here to give back. They're trying to carve their way through the forest for themselves, typically speaking. And this is by design, not by coincidence. Our masters are shitting out narcissistic little fucking duds who do not care. Superficial people by definition. And there are no checks and balances anymore. People aren't calling bullshit. People aren't telling these little shits that they're little shits. And that what they're doing is wrong. And that what they're doing is fucking us up. It's tripping things up. And it's going to make things worse. Instead, positive vibes only. Good job, you got this. And all the other token fucking phrases that people shop around instead of thinking for themselves.